All eyes are on David Koresh, the group's prophet.
All he is a cheap thug who interprets the Bible through the barrel of a gun.
Are we in the last days? And if we are in the last days, how do we know it? And there is a lot of confusion that surrounds the answer to that question. Believe me when I say this, it is absolutely crazy. First of all, terms get conflated all the time. People don't know the difference between the rapture and the second coming, which, by the way, those are two completely different things. The rapture of the church happens before the tribulation. The second coming happens after the tribulation. When we begin to think about all the different things that surround all of that, it can get really crazy. But here's something that a lot of people might not realize or know or even understand, and that is the fact that the Bible gives us a whole bunch of indicators that will actually tell us that we are getting closer to that time. The reason why we know that we are in the last days is because the Bible tells us about things that are going to happen in the tribulation. And when you begin to see what appears to be the stage being set for what we know is going to happen in the tribulation, then we know we have to be nearing the time of the rapture, and undoubtedly we have to be in the last days. And folks, we are seeing it everywhere. We are looking at talk about the rebuilding of a temple that will be on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. Israel is a nation now, which is something that had to have happened in order for all of these things to play out. We are beginning to see an increase in all kinds of things that the Bible said we should be expecting during that time. But the reality is, according to Matthew chapter 24, there's one sign that we look at that tells us, establishes the generation that will see the second coming of Christ, not to be conflated with the rapture. And that one sign we're going to talk about today. If you are watching this on the day that this video is released, you are watching it on a Sunday morning, and this will be the day where we go over another portion of Matthew chapter 24, and we will talk about what that first sign is. Here's the hint. That sign is called the abomination that causes desolate, and we won't be here as Christians when it happens. And there is so much to be said about this. There's a lot of confusion that surrounds it because there's a lot of people setting dates and say things are going to happen at certain times. And if you really are wondering about the times in which we're living, and you kind of want to understand what's going on, and you want to be aware, and you kind of want to develop a little bit more discernment about the moment that we're in right now and how it all comes into play, you need to be in the Word of God. And folks, I'm going to tell you this right now. There has never been a more important time to be in the Word of God than right now. There's never been a more important time to know the Word, to study it, to understand it, to discern it, to be aware of it, because the Bible gives us all the answers we need about the time that we're living in. And we have indicators around us everywhere that are, according to the Bible, biblical indicators that we are in these days. So it's time to keep our heads up. If I were to put a checklist in front of you of things you need to be mindful of and things you need to be doing, number one, know the Word of God. Number two, stay close to God, closer than you ever have been before. And number three, be open to hearing the voice of God. So important. Now, with all that said, today I am teaching through the second part of Matthew chapter 24. You're going to love it. I am going to attach it here. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see the link coming up that you can actually click on. And if you are watching this in any other places, just go to the James Kaddis website or James Kaddis YouTube page. We'll have it there available to you where we have it posted. God bless you guys. And remember this, Christ can come at any moment. Keep your head up.